What's happening, guys? This is the week 9 update for my client Vivyen's reverse diet series. All right, another good week in the books for Vivyen. The biggest thing I really wanted to talk about in this video is what she said to me, and it's something that she's kind of noticing that's happening to her mentally, which is something that I find to be very common in people going through a reverse diet. But I want to touch on the actual week in reverse dieting before I get into that, and then we'll talk about more of the emotional side of things. So the week went really well. She hit her macros really well. She was pretty spot on, and she weighed about 125.5 by the average of the week, which is up about 0.2 pounds. So basically maintaining. We will definitely take 0.2 anytime, especially considering that's still 2.5 pounds down from when she started. So the reverse is going really well. We're still getting the calories up, and the process could not be going better. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue to make that jump up in calories. I'm going to give her 10 grams of carbs this week, and that brings her up to 2,080 calories now. So she's eaten plenty of food at this point. She's eaten well over 15 times her body weight. This is probably actually more 16 or 17 times her body weight at this point. So calories are in a really good spot for her. But what I really wanted to talk about was one of the things that she said. She said that she noticed she's starting to feel a little bit heavier, a little bit fluffier, in her words. All right, she feels like she's gaining, and then she stopped herself. She says, I realized that I thought this, but then when we go back and look, like, my weight is down, my measurements are down, pictures are clearly showing positive changes in body composition. So obviously it's just a feeling in my head that's not actually true. This is something that I find to be really common, especially with people who are going through a reverse and it's actually going pretty well and they're maintaining their weight or maybe even losing a little bit. So often they'll say things just like that. I feel like I'm getting fat. I feel like I feel so fluffy. I feel like I'm bursting at the seams. My jeans feel like they're fitting tighter, and all these comments that are coming. But when you look at the reality of the situation, it's just not true. And I think what happens is psychologically we just get in this spot where we feel like, okay, like my calories are coming up, and when calories get higher and we start eating more food, we just kind of naturally make this inclination or this association with gaining weight, right? Eat more food, gain more weight. That's just kind of the way we've always been taught, right? Where that's not always necessarily the case. It is to a degree for certain. I mean, if you continue to just eat more calories all the time, you're going to start gaining. And she is going to start gaining here at some point, especially now that she is kind of shifting her focus from just a reverse diet and trying to improve metabolism and put herself in a good position to lose. She's actually wanting to go through an actual building phase now. So we definitely need to get the calories up, and the weight's going to have to start trending up over time here. So she's going to have to shift that focus a little bit. But this is just something that I thought was worth mentioning because I see it all the time. And even people who do gain a little bit of weight, so often I'll hear like, I'm getting so fat, like I just feel miserable, and they'll be up like 2 pounds, and when you look at their body composition and their measurements, they've actually improved. You know what I mean? Like, we can't get so caught up in the number on the scale. We can't get so caught up on the number of calories we're eating. And this is why I really just I cannot express to you how important it is to take pictures and do measurements throughout your reverse diet. So many people don't want to do this because they don't want to see themselves gaining weight, and it's a hard thing to do. But so often, if you do this, you can actually see that there's a lot of really good things happening here, or it's not as bad as you think it is, and you're holding body composition pretty well. So it can be really beneficial to do this. Now, yeah, eventually in time, it's going to probably start trending the other direction a little bit, but that's okay. We have to always stop and think big picture, understand why you're doing this, and understand that you're trying to put yourself in a better spot. You're trying to undo, in most cases, years of dieting, and you're trying to get yourself in a spot where your metabolism is running the way it should and is running effectively, so that you can lose down the road and not get so caught up on your short-term goals. So many people completely destroy themselves chasing short-term goals over and over and over again, and they just sacrifice their long-term goals because they can't delay that gratification. So it's really important to be patient and to really pay attention and understand that your feelings aren't always right. In fact, usually they aren't. So anyway, obviously things are going really well with her, both physically and mentally. I say it over and over and over again, but it's just so underrated what a good reverse diet and creating a better relationship with food can do for your mental state and how you approach things, and how you kind of get away from the binging behaviors and get away from the all or nothing approach, and finally see that long-term success that you've been craving for years, but you couldn't get it because you were in such a bad spot mentally. This whole process can really help with that. So It's awesome that she's losing weight or has lost weight and lost inches and improved her body composition through the process. But again, I cannot stress enough, that is not the goal of a reverse diet. That's not what we're trying to accomplish. It's a great bonus. The reason it's happening is because adherence has improved so much because of her better relationship with food. So that's why it's happening. In time, that's going to stop, and you will see as we continue to do this for weeks on end, you're going to see eventually she's going to start gaining here, but she's going to be eating a crap load of food. She's going to be performing really well in the gym, and it's going to be a really good thing for her in the grand scheme of things. So any questions, please let me know, and I will talk to you next time.
I'm addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving.